Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You got your boys here, Lanny and Bert, the Dividend Diplomats. We're going to be talking today about a stock that is beaten down in 2025. They are now yielding over 3%. And Lanny, they are on the verge of becoming a dividend aristocrat. Is it time to buy? We're going to answer that very question right now.
Ooh, but before we do, guys, smash that subscribe button. Let's get to 22,000 subscribers. Give us a nice thumbs up here on this lovely, fantastic Tuesday morning, guys. Bert, this stock is down 20%. This stock is 100 billion in market cap. This was one of the first stocks I actually ever freaking bought, brother. And now it's back on your radar here.
It is. It wasn't one of my first, but it's one that I'm loving and looking to add to. We're talking Lockheed Martin, ticker symbol LMT, down 13% year to date, down 20% over the last 52 weeks. They are still up 11% over the last 5 years. But man, oh man, that positive number is hanging on by a thread for Lockheed.
Yes, guys. They are still up 5 years from ago till now. Lockheed Martin, guys, still winning big contracts. They're still getting strong orders and winning. The bids. From putting in their bid from the government, primarily as one of their biggest customers, I guess if you want to call it that. But Bert, this company pours in billions of revenue, billions of cash flow here. Are they almost hitting closer and closer to 100 billion in revenue?
Yeah, they are getting close. They still got some ways to go. So this second quarter, their sales were 18 billion. So if you annualize that, that gets you close in the mid 70s. So you're on your way there to closing in on 100. They had strong sales. They were up from last quarter. They talked about how there were strong missile sales in that last earnings release, which makes sense given everything that's going on in the world. Got to replenish some of your stock here from the U.S. that you've sold to other countries. They had strong F-35 orders. They said they're still on pace to hit 200 in 2025, and that ain't a cheap jet for anyone that's been
Yeah,
following.
I mean, you got a couple, right?
Yeah,
I
I got
got
three,
you
four.
borrow them with some of those Dow proceeds.
Yeah, some on back order. The only really big negative thing I saw in there, Lanny, was they had a pretty large impairment charge. They had a 1.8 billion impairment charge to earnings, writing off some legacy systems, some legacy projects, some legacy accounting maneuvers related to stuff they're just not going to use anymore. So that was kind of went on from the earnings point. Then you look at the outlook, sales were reaffirmed in the mid 70s, strong operating profit for in the 6 billion range, earnings per share is the lowest of the group in the 21 to 22 range because of these impairments, and still strong cash flow, free cash flow above 6.6 billion. So strong result here for Lockheed.
Yeah, I would say they're still pretty strong. Obviously, it seems like they've got that pesky impairment charge that's going to skew results. I'm sure their non-GAAP results are going to look favorable still here. But the question is now, we're always looking for stocks to buy right now. We're always looking to juice, again, our passive income up, guys. So we have to take a look at Lockheed Martin. We have to take a look at them through our DD stock screener, which is the price to earnings, the payout ratio, the dividend growth, the dividend yield. Because historically, this company is like clockwork when it comes to increasing that dividend, come usually around the Q4 timeframe. It's always a very exciting increase. But I'm very curious what we think, even when we go through it, what dividend growth may look like for Lockheed Martin. Again, we're both proud shareholders, and I've been one for about 15 years.
Yep, I've been
More.
one for two. So let's see if it's time to add to it. Their price, Lanny, at the time of this video is $421.17. Earnings per share are 21.87 on Seeking Alpha for 2025. Price to earnings ratio is 19.2. However, let's put a little caveat on this. We talked about the impairment charges. We said this is a down year. Forward earnings are closer to $29 per share for 2026. You put that in there, and that adjusts this PE ratio pretty heavily, Lanny. That brings the PE ratio down to 14.5 for a more normalized earnings per share from Lockheed.
Ooh, yeah, definitely lower. 19 is still not bad for what usually is an expensive stock. So, I don't think they're cutting back or, any of their governmental spending right now.
No, I mean, we just approved a larger Fed government budget, not government budget, defense budget for $1 trillion. So that money's got to be spent somewhere.
So there you have it, guys. Now, with the payout ratio, that calls into question how safe is that dividend payout ratio? Again, Bert shocked it at 29, and it goes down to about 45%. But if we use kind of that 2187 that we first talked about, that payout ratio looks to be about 60%.
All right, 60%. Dividend growth, 6.78%. We said they've increased for 22 years. Lockheed, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, Lanny. Isn't Lockheed the stock that announces the same dollar amount dividend increase over time? So it's a shrinking percentage, but it's always a consistent amount.
Yeah, it's usually, I don't know if it's like 20 cents every time or something like that.
Yeah, they're no longer going to blow you away from a dividend increase front, but it's always consistent and it's always in that high single digit rate. So it's pretty substantial dividend increase, and we'll see what's going to happen come September.
Yeah, 22 years is pretty awesome, though. I mean, you're knocking on heaven's door there of the dividend aristocrat status. That's why I got to give Eric Clapton a little shout out there. Now, the good part about this is that dividend yield. We all know that I love personally a 3% plus dividend yield. Well, Lockheed Martin says, hold my beer. We got a 3.13% dividend yield. So for every $100, you can get $3.13 in annual dividend income here. So pretty darn solid here.
Yeah, so those are the metrics here. Again, a 19 PE, 60% payout ratio, 6 to 7% growth rate, 22 years of increasing, and a 3% plus dividend yield. Look, Lockheed's a great company. It's had a tough year. It's down. 420 is a pretty fair price for the company. The metrics are looking very solid for this company. So if you say I'm going to buy Lockheed right now, I understand it. I'm just debating how stubborn do I want to be? Do I want to be like Lanny level stubborn and say I only want to get them at 400 or less, which really isn't that far for Lockheed? That's what, another 5% drop maybe off, like 5% ish, $21 per share. I don't know. I'm on the fence about where I want to buy them, or should I just buy them and not overthink this one either?
Oh, man. Well, again, you got some proceeds because you sold that. You said F that stock. I don't think you'd say F this stock to Lockheed Martin.
No, I'm pretty sure they'd find a missile staring right at me if I told them to go fuck them. But
yeah,
I had five.
Easy. We got kids watching.
That's right. I have a big $500 from that Dow position. So yeah, in theory, I could throw at least some of that, buy one share of Lockheed, feel a lot better about that $420 I'd be putting into Lockheed.
Interesting, guys. Well, what about you? I like the stock. I like the metrics. I bought so long ago that I just can't.
That's a different mental challenge for you to get over of buying them at this price now versus where you got them way back in the day. So yeah. I get that one.
But great stock.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Is this a stock to buy right now? Will this stock juice your passive income and help you on that journey to financial freedom? We think the metrics are solid. They passed the DD stock screener. Payout ratio is getting a little tight. Hopefully there's no more impairment charges, and it should level set here going into 2026.
Yeah, already, everyone, subscribe to the channel. Ooh. Give this video a thumbs up, and remember, you're either with us or you're against us, Jack.
That was Bert, the Heart, and Lanny, the Dividend Diplomat. Over.